a little TV. Let's talk about Netflix's Jessica, A.K.A. Jessica Jones TV series. Now, that is going to be released sometime later this year. I think we have pretty much a hard date for the Daredevil series sometime around May. They want to release it around the same time as Avengers 2. So we're looking at a May release there. But the casting's kind of coming together. You have Kristen Ritter. She's also from Breaking Bad. She was in a bunch of romantic comedies. She's going to be playing Jessica Jones. Not too thrilled about that casting, but, you know, I've been wrong before. You have David Tennant, who actually played the 10th Doctor in Doctor Who. So a lot of Who fans out there are going to be really happy. You have Rachel Taylor. She was the Australian girl in the original Transformers. So she'll be interesting. And then you also have announced recently Carrie-Anne Moss from The Matrix. Seems like we're talking a lot about The Matrix today. But she was Trinity in The Matrix trilogy. So you have an interesting cast there. You have a couple people that can prove that they can do this action types thing. Now, David Tennant is going to be playing the Purple Man, who, if you do know anything about the Jessica Jones world, he is very, very big in this, and pretty much what this show is going to follow is Jessica Jones. After a tragedy, tragedy befalls her. She decides, hey, you know what? I'm hanging up my tights. I'm not going to be one of those costume superheroes anymore, and I'm going to start my own detective agency where I investigate pretty much powered people doing their thing. And this is a theme that we've been seeing quite a lot recently. You heard about that with the X-Men live-action series, Powers TV show that's going to be on PlayStation Network. So there's a couple of interesting things there. Now, I would say that this is probably the original of all those. I think the Jessica Jones storyline came out before the X Factor investigation storyline, and definitely before Powers. But it's going to be interesting. Now, if you don't know anything about Jessica Jones, what actually happened was she was a superhero. She might have even been part of the Avengers for a very, very short time. And what happened, she ran into the Purple Man. Now, if you don't know who the Purple Man is, he can control your mind, make you do anything he wants you to do. And this is where Marvel kind of was in their darker days. They were doing a lot of darker themed things with some of their comics. Kind of go with what DC was, mirroring what DC was doing at the time. And Purple Man took over her brain, pretty much. Made her do a lot of really, really horrible things, because Purple Man is a bad guy. And bad guys will do that. And nobody noticed. None of her superhero friends noticed. Nobody seemed to care. So when she gets out of being under said trance, she kind of looks at all the Avengers and all those guys in the superhero community and is like, "Screw you guys! Why you didn't even look for me? You didn't think something was up when I just didn't show up for the past year or so?" And they were all like, "Oh, that's right, you were a superhero." So, and if you want to know her superpowers, I believe they were along the lines of Miss Marvel. She could fly, she had super strength, stuff like that. So it's going to be an interesting show. I don't know how much she's going to use her superpowers, and it's going to be pretty interesting because this is a lead up for the big series. They're bringing together 4 series, Netflix is, for the Defender series. You're going to have Daredevil, you're going to have Jessica Jones, then I think it's Iron Fist, and then we'll see Luke Cage. Now, Luke Cage and Jessica Jones actually have a relationship in the comics, so we'll probably see a little bit of a crossover with Luke Cage there. And it seems like it's heading in an interesting direction. Again, the casting, I'm not 100% sure on Jessica Jones, but the rest of the cast seems pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for these TV shows to come out. Like Daredevil, once that hits Netflix, I think I'm going to take a week off work. Probably don't need a week. I'm going to take 2 days off work and just watch them. Just straight out watch them. Okay, maybe not. Maybe.
Well, how many episodes is it going to be? Have they announced that yet?
I'm pretty sure they're going to follow the template of 10 episode seasons, just
So
like they've done
one
with
day.
Marco Polo. So yeah, 10 hours of watching. Yeah, I don't think I could sit 10 hours in one day watching one show. 5 hours maybe.
If it's really good.
That's true. If it's that good, I might be able to do it. Because usually what happens with me, like what happened with me with Marco Polo, is I sat there and I was like, okay, I'm going to watch an episode. All right, let me just watch one more episode. All right, fine, one more. All right, one more. And then I'm like, oh, it's 3 a.m. I better go to sleep. The next day, it's like, okay, I'll watch an episode. Okay, one more. All right, one more. And then it's 3 a.m. and I got, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah, well, and that's when you have a pretty good show that at least is very good at hooking you, but definitely a bad show doesn't hook you like that. So.
Yeah, and I mean, and this one seems like it could be that type of show. This is going to be tied into the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, so we might see some crossover with some of the bigger names. Probably not. I think they're going to kind of keep them a little bit separate. But if you look at what they've done with their TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., there's a lot of things that like they give backdrop to stuff like the Tesseract and stuff like, and and they've even hinted at the Inhumans on that show right there. They've also there's talk about bringing some of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. onto Avengers 2. We might see a couple of those agents actually pop up in Avengers 2. So they do like to intertwine a lot of those stuff, whether it be big screen or small screen being TV. So it'll be pretty interesting to see where all that goes. And I really can't wait for it. I do want to see it. I wish they would all just release right now so I could watch them now. But I understand that they don't think they've filmed them all yet, so it might be a little bit hard.
Well, there's also the problem. You do want to plan when you release stuff so that everything's not too congested around each other. I mean, I guess they do that sometimes. Like with TV shows, they'll release a whole bunch at one time for the fall season to see them compete, but other things you still want to stagger it a little bit.
Yeah, and that makes sense. Spread out the wealth a little bit there. Keep people coming, because most people won't binge watch Daredevil and be ready for the next one right away.
Yeah.
They might spread it out over a couple days, so. But we'll see.
I think with the the streaming services, they've been better able to take care of the idea of any time of year. You don't have to stick to a strict fall release schedule. I think they still have done several releases in fall and spring release times, but it just makes more sense to do it just at any time of the year.
Like, yeah, I really think this is a format that was pioneered by channels like HBO and FX, where they have, okay, we have 10 episodes, 13 episodes, we'll release, this is our fall season, our winter season, our spring season, our summer season. So they kind of spread out the shows, and so you have something good to watch almost all times of the year. I like it. And Jessica Jones seems like she's going to turn out to be good. Again, they're going to be following the same format, investigating people's superpowers, kind of what you've seen in Gotham and stuff like that. But if it's done right, I don't mind. I don't mind getting a kind of a rehash, because it's going to be a little bit different story, and we'll see how it ties into the Defenders. And who knows? I mean, they could throw us for a curve, and she could use her powers a lot, or they might be more doing her backstory when she was a superhero and the Purple Man took over her, because a lot of crazy stuff happened there. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'm looking forward to it, but do you think they'll follow the comic more, or they'll kind of tread their own path? Are you excited for the show? Hit us up. Comments down below. Of course, at What's My Face on Twitter. Google Plus and Facebook. Always good ways of getting a hold of us.